See me?
No, sir. Still no video for you.
Still no video.
All right. Oh, there's video now.
Okay,
Up and running.
that wasn't the camera I wanted because that's not my best side, but we'll leave it there today. So maybe here. All right. Okay, just on time.
And forgive me, Tom, is this going to be your first meeting running one?
This is my first time,
Okay.
and I've spent hours and hours of research, and hopefully I don't bungle things too much today.
You have my full confidence. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. We'll help you out through the way. We just need to introduce and do roll call.
Okay. Are we ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then should I ask you, Dustin, to do a roll call?
Yes, sir. We will. Annette will take roll call.
Okay.
Okay, Tom Young,
Here.
Todd Baberther,
Here.
Chell Anderson,
I'm here.
Ben O'Mara,
Here.
Justin Borgo, Pete Reekie,
Here.
Katie Sheehan,
Here.
back to Justin. Is he here?
I
He
don't see
accept?
him on the list today.
Okay, I thought he accepted the meeting, so, okay. We do
We'll
have a
keep an eye
quorum.
out.
Okay.
We have a quorum. Okay. Then are there anyone in the public that wants to be recognized?
And Tom, are you seeing the attendees raising hands?
I see Patrick Hanks.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. This is Patrick Hanks with the Building Industry Association of Washington.
I don't see any other hands right now. Okay. Then let's proceed. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved. It's not on the screen currently. It's not being shared, but I am moved to approve it.
Second, I do see it, Jill.
Thought I was showing it.
Yep.
Let me refresh the share and we'll see if that fixes it and make sure everybody's seeing it. Because I see it on my share screen too. I did something. Shelley, you seeing it now?
I see it now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Not sure what was up.
Okay, is there a second?
Yeah, I seconded it, Ben.
Okay. Any discussions? So no discussion. All in favor of the agenda as presented, say aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. There being no nays, the agenda has been approved as presented. Then let's go to the minutes.
For July 18th.
Yes, for July 18th.
This is Todd. I move to approve.
Also,
Hey, is there a second? So we have a second. Any discussions or comments or corrections?
I'll second that.
Okay, I believe we had a second. Are there any comments, notes, or corrections that anyone wants to make? Hearing none, so all in favor of approving the minutes as presented, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, hearing none, the minutes have been approved as presented. So we are now moving on to agenda item 4. And I guess at this point, I turn over to you, Dustin, to
Yeah, I will be happy to do that. So I'm pulling up our code proposal log and tracking. And of course, it's getting stuck between screens and playing a little bit of havoc with me at the moment. Okay, there we go. So this is the proposal log for the Uniform Plumbing Code. This was the proposals here were forwarded to the MVP tag by the council, and they did their work and reviewed all the proposals, have recommendations on adoption, some recommendations for denial, and don't believe that there's any in here that were withdrawn, or we have one withdrawn by the proponent. And I believe that the tag has done a good job of reviewing these proposals and making appropriate recommendations. And so I give this to the committee to deliberate, and it is my ask that it gets forwarded on to the council today, barring any issues that arise. And then we also have the MVP tag chair, Ben Omura, on the call, who might want to speak to the proposals before us as well.
okay. Ben, you have your hand up.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Yeah, thanks, Dustin. And yeah, as Dustin said, the MVP tag has reviewed all the proposals you see on the list here and that were part of the meeting attachments. And just echoing what Dustin said, the tag reviewed all of these, and I'm happy to go through any of them, including the ones that were recommended not for adoption by the tag. I believe all of the votes were consensus votes without any dissenting votes, Dustin. I don't know if you recall that, or you have a quick way of
I was
checking that.
at the meetings, but all the votes I don't have committed. Brandon's on the call as well, and he may be able to recollect a little better than I on those.
Yeah, and I don't know if Brandon, if you have that off the top of your head or not, but
I don't remember any votes that had anybody opposing passing the petitions without diving all the way through all the minutes, but I do not remember anyone opposing.
yeah, and yeah, thanks, Brandon. And I just say that as to speak to the consensus nature of the tag action, and definitely recommend moving on the proposals that were recommended for adoption to the council in CR 102.
Okay. Hey, may I ask, just for my learning, that if there's a tag denial, is that I guess that we're not allowed to send that to the council? Is that correct?
That is correct. There's new legislation passed between the 2021 codes and the time for the 2024 cycle. Any petition for amendment referred down to a tag that doesn't get the blessing of the tag is not allowed to be entertained by the committees or the council. And then to characterize what could happen here with these today, we could call out specific proposals, deliberate them, potentially make some amendments. These would have to be ones that were recommended by the tag. The BF, or not the BFRW, sorry, the MVPE committee could amend and recommend that way, or we could also deny, but that doesn't prevent the council from adopting at the end as well.
Okay, thank you. Patrick.
Yeah, thought Todd had his hand up before me, or
Oh,
Oh, I played the game where I went behind you now.
oh, okay, all right. Well, okay. Yeah, for the record, Patrick Hanks with the Building Industry Association of Washington. Just one thing I wanted to bring before the committee today, and I want to apologize. This kind of slipped through the cracks for me during the tag process. I was mostly juggling the IRC last month. But I was re-reviewing these, going over all the proposals for the current work group on economic impact stuff that's going on. and proposal 005 caught my eye. I ran it by a couple of builders, and there's concerns with that. The language deals with stopping the permitting process, but it's under the suspension or revocation section. And the builders I talked with felt like there's already processes in place whereby building officials can work with LNI before the permit's issued, but there was concerns that allowing the entire building permit to be pulled or paused dealing with this plumbing that could cause issues with delays and things. So wanted to bring that before the committee today. Thank you.
Okay. Since I really am new here, so Chell?
Yeah, I was wondering, Patrick, if there's a remedy that you have ready, or if that would be better entertained later or as a public comment.
Yeah, I don't have alternative language for this section. If the committee wants to try to move forward with this, I can try to go back to our builders and see if there's an alternative option that we can propose to the council or through public comment. But I think the general consensus was they were hoping to just not see this proposal move forward.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. Todd?
Thank you, Patrick. So one action would be for the committee to recommend not moving this forward. The other, you mentioned the economic impact. Can you restate that possible concern?
I didn't look at this specifically for that. I just was re-reviewing all proposals amongst all the different codes during that, and this one caught my eye. Not for the economic side, but just that I thought builders, I wanted to get some input and ran it by them, and they brought up these concerns.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I thought I saw Katie had her hand up.
Oh, I was just trying to figure out which one it was. Which I did. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, may I look to the committee for maybe some further guidance on how to proceed on this? Todd?
Yeah, if I may, can someone help me understand, does UPC operate the same way as other codes in chapter 1 in terms of ability to amend at the local level, or maybe someone could walk us all through that?
Yeah, well, I want to say that yes, it's allowed to be amended at the local level, but we don't see a lot of that coming our way, at least while I've been with the SBCC. And I think that it'd be challenging for a local jurisdiction to say some of this is not applicable to residential provisions. So we see amendments on other building codes that are deemed not, applicable to the local provisions. Or I mean, sorry, residential provisions. And those happen without SBCC being involved in the process, and it just goes in via the adopting ordinance locally. Plumbing could potentially, I mean, I would say that this right here could impact the residential aspect of the plumbing application, and so any amendments here would need to be brought before SBCC.
Okay, I see Brandon's hands up.
Yes. I just wanted to add to what Dustin had said. And the first part of the chapter 1 for the UPC is adamant that local jurisdictions can make the code more stringent, but not loosen requirements.
Okay, and if I may follow up, yeah, it's just UPC is always a little foreign to me in terms of, the plumbing compliant, the LNI part of it. So just a lack of understanding more than anything. So thank you.
Ben?
Yeah, I guess if there's no other discussion for this, I would like to make a motion that the committee moves this forward to the council for review and as written. And I guess, yeah, I'll leave it there for a second.
And that's this particular proposal, correct?
No, I would say for the whole package, Dustin.
Okay.
Okay, so Ben has moved to move the whole package to the council. Is there a second?
All second.
We have a second. Do we need more discussion on this? Katie.
So that one that Patrick just asked to withdraw, that would go forward too,
Yes, ma'am.
and then it would get more public comment, perhaps. Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Ben, do you have?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention. Thanks, Katie. And yeah, like I think the tag provided review and recommendation for it, so I think it would be appropriate for that to get moved on for further public review and comment from additional stakeholders. Thanks.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and I guess it's time for a vote. So all in favor of moving this code change, I guess, package to the council, please say yay.
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 And any opposed, please say nay. Okay, hearing none, this package has been approved to advance to the council. This meeting might be pretty short. Okay, Todd?
I was just gonna say, good job, Ben. Got that in a tight deadline, so.
Okay,
So yeah, this will be the last set. I think we're done with group 2. Is that right?
Yes, that'll put us through with group 2.
So,
okay, so we are on to agenda item 5, other business. And I guess I first open it up to the public. Ben?
I guess I'm not part of the public attendees, but so I don't know if anyone had other business, but I did have something I wanted to bring up. So I can go now or wait.
Well, yes, seeing no one in the public has raised their hand, so go ahead, Ben.
All right, thanks. And Dustin, I think you got an email as well from Eric Vandermeer regarding a modification of a current emergency rule for the mechanical code, chapter 11 for refrigerants. And it wasn't included in the meeting info for today, so I don't think we're going to review it, but I did want to just ask about kind of next steps for modification to that emergency rule and what would be the appropriate method to review that at the committee level or with the council. Thanks.
So we have I have to think about this one a little bit. We have the active emergency rule on that one, and the intent is to continue filing until we have the permanent rule in effect. Bringing a change to that emergency rule, I think follows the same process. It's not necessarily introduction of a new petition per se, but I think that we could potentially bring it up at the next council meeting. But Ben, would you recommend that it gets some floor time at the committee level before it goes to a council meeting? So potentially at the October council meeting instead of this one coming up in the next week, in 2 weeks, sorry.
Yeah, and I guess I was also curious about the timing for the next council meeting because I saw the meeting on the 19th did get canceled.
Yep.
But it sounds like we may have another one. Would that be the 26th?
That is correct. That was going to be my other business. So I was going to broach that one. We talked about this briefly at the BFRW this morning. It was mentioned that the 19th meeting is one of our regular scheduled meetings. And so in order to do the meeting on the 26th, this will have to be run as a special meeting. So the agenda that comes out for that one, we won't be able to stray on that one for any final dispositions. So we're having a meeting on the 26th for the main business there is going to be to move the IRC, the UPC, and the rest and do review of economic impact statements to file for CR 102 on October 1.
Got it. And yeah, I guess I would recommend that it be included in the agenda for that meeting.
Okay.
And if the council determines it needs additional review at the committee level, then that's fine as well. But I think it would be appropriate to discuss it with the group. Thank you.
Todd,
Ben, could you maybe remind us a little bit, or Dustin, the status and the content of that one? I kind of remember it.
Sure. And this emergency rule pertains to Chapter 11 of the Mechanical Code, dealing with refrigerants, and the existing emergency rule modifies some of the refrigerant installation requirements to allow for the usage of newer ASHRAE standards, so ASHRAE 15, 2021. And the modifications to the emergency rule would actually use the more recent ASHRAE standard 2024 version with newer amendments, which provide additional clarity, and with all the ASHRAE standards, they're continuously modified. So there's an ongoing collection of addenda that get added to those that modify the requirements. So to ensure that we have the latest direction from that, it would make sense to include that later version to allow for the most appropriate installation method for those systems.
Okay, and then what would the action be at the full meeting?
I guess that's where I would look to Dustin. If do we need to, is there need to refile the emergency rule, or can it be modified as it's
We would have
existing?
to refile to bring the proposed changes to bear on the active enforcement in Washington. So at the meeting, the council says, yes, we want to do these updates. Staff will need to draft another CR 103E. And in that one, we'll have to make sure that it covers that it's replacing the previous CR 103E. And because that's not expired yet. And once we file that, the emergency rule as updated would be in effect.
Okay, so the action well, I guess there wouldn't be action at the next meeting if it's a new emergency rule. It would be the showing of it, and then the preceding meeting would be the determination of the emergency,
I
etc.
would need to confer with Dirk to verify my thinking on this one, but we already found that there was an emergency to file the original emergency rule. And then the council then voted on the content of that emergency rule. I think that the finding of emergency has already been concluded, and that we would rediscuss the updates to use the most current standards and updated information available, which is the whole point of this emergency rule in the first place. And so I think that we could go through without an emergency finding, but I want to confer with Dirk before I say that that is the set in stone pathway.
Okay. All right, thank you.
But if I may, so what we're saying is there are amendments to the existing emergency rule. Okay. But the basis is established, and we want to confirm.
Yeah, I want to make
That's
sure we don't
okay.
need to refine emergency on that.
Thank you.
And I would say if that's the case, then we would be looking at probably the introduction meeting, and we can do that at this meeting, easy. And then the October meeting would be when we would try to get that done finally. I don't believe that what Eric sent in included a new petition from the APA form on that one. I haven't had a chance to really digest that email just yet. I've seen the attachments, but I just put it in a place for further review here in a day or two.
I believe he did have the petition form as part of what he sent, and using option 2 to amend the rule in it. But yeah. Okay, thanks, Justin. Appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah, so it is a petition there. I see that now. And so then I think the council could choose to, I'll talk with Dirk about this one and see if we have the option to use this as an update option, or if we have to follow the whole emergency amendment process from the start. So I'll be following up.
Oh, we're in 100-day, 20-day right now.
60 days.
I'm sorry, 60-day.
Yeah.
But this could be a new petition. Okay.
Well, yeah, if we take this in as a petition, 60 days started when I received this, which was this last Tuesday.
Thanks, Ben.
Okay, someone have any other business that they want to bring up?
Covered mine.
Seeing none, then is there any recommendation how we fill the next 2.5 hours? Or,
It's been a long week, so
okay.
thanks, everyone.
All right. So then perhaps, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And there's a second?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yay.
Aye. Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great
Unanimous
job,
motion
Dom.
made
Great
by
job.
Andy.
Sure.